Fillet that fish and get rid of the bones. Editing for fun and profit. Hello everyone, Randy Carney here with another session of Walking with Randy, where we talk about writing, speaking, marketing, and marriage. Today we're talking again about writing. We have been talking about ways that you can write your book. We've talked about some ways that you can easily come up with a rough draft for your book. Now this said it was trying to reconnect, so I think we're back. So, editing for fun and profit. Well, if you're writing a book, you want your book to do well. And so it will be fun to be able to get the book done, but also to get it to the point to where you can sell the book. So, editing for fun and profit. Well, there are some reasons why you are one of the best persons to edit your book. In fact, you might be the best person altogether. Some of those reasons are, you know where your book is going. You know exactly what you want the end product to be. You may not be able to communicate that too well if you hire out the editing process to someone else. You know your content better, and you and no one else knows your voice better than you do. If you want it to really sound like you, then you are the best one to edit your book as far as it being produced in your own voice. Okay, well, it is a good idea, though, probably to have a third party, someone else that's not as familiar with your content, to look over your book. Now, when it comes to the process of proofreading, this is especially true. But I'm talking about the other content editing. Sometimes it's called line editing. Well, here's some options for getting someone professional to edit your book. Years ago, I used Elance. It is a good place to hire freelance workers. They give you samples of their writing, they give you descriptions of their writing, and you can also look at ratings of people who have used those particular freelancers before. Well, then there was a site called Odesk. Now, Elance and Odesk have merged, and it is now called Upwork. So you may want to go to Upwork and see if you can find some editors there. There's another freelance site that you might be familiar with, and it is called Fiverr. Fiverr, an extra R on the end. And again, look at the descriptions of what they do, look at their ratings, ask for some samples, and you probably can find you a good editor simply by doing that. And then there would be some other options. You can look at more in depth, and you can look at some more expensive options. If you have gone with a hybrid publisher, they may offer some editing services, and you may want to go with them. I have a book that I'm collaborating on right at the moment, and we're doing it through an excellent hybrid publisher, and we decided to hire their editors to go over our work. Well, then some things you can do on your own. If you are pretty good with grammar, then you may just use the computer software called Grammarly. You might be able to use a free version of that. And then there's another one that is called Pro Writing Aid. Both of those are very good. Now, if you are not good at grammar at all, then you especially would want to use something like this before you handed it over to someone else. But if you're pretty good with grammar, then it may be that just running it through those two pieces of software may be all that you would need to do in certain instances. Okay, now here's some other computer editing that you can do. You have the Find and Replace button on your word processing software. So go through and do a search for the word "the." If you are writing a nonfiction book and you're wanting to do it in a very personable way, it may be that you want to change some of those "these" to the word "you." For instance, instead of saying "the book," it might be better for you to say "your book," if indeed it is the reader's book that you're talking about. Another example would be to search for the word "that." Many times the word "that" can be removed from your sentences and it still makes sense, and really it sounds better in a lot of instances. But go through and check that out. Then here's a very important one. You have the be verbs am, is, are, was, and were. You can just take your computer and go through and look for all the instances of each of those words. Those sentences more than likely are written in passive voice. Now, passive voice is where the action is being done to something. Generally, your writing is more exciting if you have someone or something doing the action. So you could change those sentences to active voice. An example would be, the ball still with, yes, I think we're back. The ball was hit. You could change it to, he or she hit the ball. See how it changes from the action happening to the ball to someone else doing the action. From passive voice would all give you the instances where the sentence might be written in passive voice. Now, sometimes you can't change those. It wouldn't make sense for you to change some of those things. And it may be that right at the very beginning of certain paragraphs or certain sections of your writing, you may want a more powerful word to start it out. And so you may just deliberately use passive voice in a case like that, but make sure you're doing it on purpose. Another thing to search for with your computer are words that end in ly. Those are generally adverbs. Maybe always, I don't know, I haven't really checked that out. But an example would be, he ran into the room quickly. Quickly is an adverb. Usually, whenever you have something like that, you can make your verb stronger. Let me give you that example again. He ran into the room quickly. You could change your verb to rushed. He rushed into the room. Or he burst into the room. How would that be? Doesn't that sound better? And then some paragraphs may just be wordy. You might want to go through and just circle the important words and rewrite the paragraphs just using those important words. Well, those are some ways that you can fillet that fish and get rid of the bones and edit for fun and profit. If you would like more tips like these, go to randysblogs.com. And I'm waving bye to my daughter and grandchildren right there. If you'd like more tips like these, then go to randysblogs.com and you can check them out there. What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay, yeah, what?
I said we're not signing any petitions.
Okay. I have my clipboard here. They said we're not signing in petitions today. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this session of Walking with Randy, and join us again later on. If you catch this on YouTube, it would be really nice if you would make a comment, or if you would hit the like button, or if you like these videos, you can subscribe to it on the YouTube channel. Well, hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.